Alright, welcome ladies and gents. Got a video for you. Oh boy, have I got a video for you. So Fede Alvarez, the director of Alien Romulus, has come out and discussed some Easter eggs. Some little Alien Isolation Easter eggs. But also actually spoke about the Prometheus Criticism, which I thought was quite interesting actually. Now, he is addressing directly the Prometheus Criticism, but he is also explaining his movie's technological leaps. Basically, well, technological class system, I guess. So let's take a look at the Alien Isolation Easter egg first. So this is an article over on AVP Galaxy, and they take some of this information from Games Radar. So Fede Alvarez was talking to Total Film Podcast, right? And Fede shared his opinion on Alien Isolation and how it reinforced his opinion of the effectiveness of the Alien. Alien Isolation, for those that don't know, is an incredible video game. Actually incredible. It has been... I don't know why it didn't do as well as it did when it came out. IGN is largely blamed for its downfall. I don't really necessarily agree that IGN could destroy a video game, but their review of it was atrocious, and it was not deserved. That video game is amazing. I've done a playthrough of it twice here on the channel, and it will shit you up. That game will shit you up. It's a good game. It's a very good game. So, Fede said the following, quote, Alien Isolation was kind of what made me see that Alien could truly be terrifying and done well today. I played a few years after it came out. Don't Breathe was coming out, or was I waiting for Don't Breathe to come out? And I was playing the game. That's why, at the time, I was like, fuck, if I could do anything, I would love to do Alien and scare the audience again with that creature and those environments. I was playing and realising how terrifying Alien could be if you take it back to that tone. Ah, there you go, someone that understands it. Like, the director does understand it, he gets it. There you go. And it says here, so Alien Isolation homages go further than the save stations simply being set decorations in the film. Fede utilised them as a visual warning that something very bad is about to happen to the characters. So this is in the film. And this is a save station directly inspired by Alien Isolation. So he says the following. The movie is set up in a way that every time something bad is about to happen, you will see a phone. In the game, every time you knew there's a phone, you'd go, fuck, I'm about to go into some bad set piece. It's the same thing here. You'll see they're planted strategically throughout the film. When you see the phone, it's like, brace for impact. That's cool. I've not seen the film. I'll be going on Friday to watch this. Cannot wait. So, just fascinating stuff. Just what an interesting way to homage Alien Isolation. And someone that understands the Alien, seemingly, the franchise, right? Now, there is this, which I thought was quite interesting. So, Alien Romulus director, Fede Alvarez addresses Prometheus Criticism. Now, why am I looking at this? Because I think it's interesting. I think someone that has made a new entry, talking about the criticisms of a previous entry, I think it's worth taking a look at. Now, he's talking very specifically about the technological leaps that seemingly happened in universe in the past. So Prometheus, of course, is the first entry to the franchise in technological sort of prowess wise. They were leagues above Alien. Now, he's previously addressed this, but I think it's interesting because he says a little bit more. So, here we have it. Alien Romulus takes us back past Alien in the timeline after 2 trips into the past with Prometheus and Alien Covenant. So, it doesn't take us back past, well, it takes us between Alien and Aliens, just for those that don't know. So Ridley Scott's prequels had mixed responses from fans, with one particular criticism of Prometheus that everything looked too modern, given it was actually 29 years before the events of Alien. Which is true, I mean, that's a fair thing to say, to be honest. But, in universe, the way Fede explains it, is a really smart thing. However, Alien Romulus director and co-writer Fede Alvarez had defended the prequel and given an explanation for the look of the movie. There's a mistake we all make when we watch movies, that we assume what the movie's showing you is a representation of the whole entire universe. Now that is true, but I will defend people that think that because that's all you're shown. right? If you're shown that, that's what you will assume. That's what you think. So I will defend people's opinion on that. Like, I think that's a fair thing to jump to assumption-wise. And he says this, that's why people complain about Prometheus being too modern. How can it be when it's before Alien? But Alien is an old truck that is maybe 80 or 100 years old. If you go out here in the countryside and decide to tell a story out in the countryside in an old beat-up truck from the 30s and an alien from another planet watch the movie, they might think the whole world is that. And there's Teslas in the city. They don't know that. Again, I like his explanation. The filmmaker just shows you that truck that's out in the road. We assume that's all it is. Not even that, because it's science fiction. We assume that's a cutting-edge technology that exists. But that's all assumptions that you made. It says this was in Alvarez's mind when it came to the look of Alien Romulus, which is set nearly 20 years after Alien, deciding that the ships were going to be more in line with the era of the ships of the first movie. That's what he says, quote. And so he said this as well. I think one of the things we learned with Evil Dead was to make sure we were faithful to the spirit of the original films without necessarily having to retell the same story. You want to make sure it feels very familiar, that you watch it and it makes you feel like it's legit, a movie that belongs in that universe. Above all things, I tried to channel my memory of watching those movies for the first time and how I felt. There's a set of emotions that movie gave me, and then I imagined how do I hold this and how do I transmit it to you. I think that's amazing. Alvarez also spoke to Digital Spy about the title's hidden meaning, as well as teasing the effed up ending. Which, I'll say a little bit more about the ending now, because we're getting a little bit closer to it. It's very gory. I think it will only be divisive in a way, well, it's a shame that I think the ending was potentially added in later in the development process. I hazard a guess, some of it may have been mandated by Ridley Scott. But I don't think it will be as divisive as what people are making it out to be. I actually think it has to... I think the ending has to be done in a way... I've not watched the film, by the way. I know what happens. I think the ending has to be there. Or at least... doesn't necessarily have to be there, but I think the inclusion of the ending in that way is a very, very smart way to not necessarily throw everything out that the Alien franchise has introduced. That's the most diplomatic way of doing it. I actually don't think it'll be that divisive, but I don't know. We'll see. What do you guys think of these comments? Alien Isolation. Have you played it or not? Let me know down below. I'd love to hear it. Cheers, guys. Take care. Bye-bye now.